Hello and welcome again to GPW episode 2. With me again, we have the wonderful Kevin Kimmis, who will be playing El Senor Bego Crap, and the one and only Chaz Kildare. How should I address you when we're broadcasting? Is Chaz Kildare how I say your name?
Whatever. I don't really go by it anymore, but that's fine.
Well,
I
I know you still have the
I
Kildare.
don't want anybody knowing where I am or where I live either, so that's a nice thing too.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
All 11 of them.
And he plays the veteran role of Ronnie the Duke Lewis, which is a lot of fun to see in action.
It's good to be the champ.
I am our creative for this series, Nick Wattier, or Nick Santowski Wattier. You know what I didn't write down, guys? And I know you guys mentioned it. What's the name of our ring announcer again? Or not our ring announcer, but our commentary guy.
Jumbo Index.
God.
Jumbo Index.
The name is Jumbo Index.
Yeah, something index.
Jumbo Index. I did write it down on a different sheet. I got to add that here so I don't forget. He might actually get used today.
And just like everybody in the Federation, Ronnie the Duke's got heat with him.
Yeah. So a quick recap of last week, just so we all remember where we are. We opened the show with a promo from the president and CEO of GPW, Gary Grayson. He announced that we were now broadcasting globally a weekly television show called Sunday Showcase. He said that to commemorate the TV show, we're going to create a world championship title, and that the champion was going to be determined in a four-man tournament featuring two non-player characters, Gryla and the Mysterious Merc, and two player characters, El Senor Bago Crap and Ronnie the Duke Lewis. First match, Gryla versus Senor Bago Crap. Senor was booked to win. He decided to end the match early with a cheating victory. Ronnie the Duke then had his match against Mysterious Merc. He won clean, had a good match the audience really liked. And then the two players went against each other. Ronnie the Duke is now our champion in a violent, not booked to be hardcore, but a violent match. Hey, Dan's joining us.
Hooray!
Dan?
And
Ooh.
Let's get him up on the screen for a second. We did just start broadcasting, so we're live at the moment, but you're not too late to be thrown in.
Excellent.
And is it just me, or did we lose Chad?
I think we lost Chad.
Okay, I'll give him a couple minutes to come back. I was just recapping. I think you got a chance to watch last week's broadcast.
Did watch it.
Yeah, cool. So you know what's going on in this story and who's where, but we don't know anything about you yet. So let me get my Carter King sheets out. Sorry,
I should probably get mine out too.
Otherwise, I can just, read them for you too.
Seems totally inefficient.
Your call. So Carter King will be a new wrestler appearing this week. Follows the Golden Boy archetype if you're one of the book readers. I don't know a whole lot about Carter King. Hails from Anaheim, California, and enters to the Hall of the Mountain King.
Yes.
You selected to play a babyface.
I did, but that's mutable.
Yeah. Up in the air. You've got 2 points in look, 0 in power, -2 in real, and -1 in work. You've You've got the Always Learning and I Am the Future moves, and you get to start with +1 audience. What else can you tell us about Carter?
Well, Carter is, he's your California surfer type look. He's your typical guy that has the look, but probably not the skill, kind of getting into the business. His goal is obviously to be the best, but it's solely because he wants to raise his profile for potential future endeavors elsewhere.
Makes sense. So we do have a little bit of mechanic then to go with. I will start with you selecting 2 of the 4 questions on your character sheet. Do you have that handy?
I do.
Okay. And what I'll have you do is read off a question, and then between Kevin and Chad, you 2 get to volunteer if you want that question to be answered by your character.
Yep.
All right. I'll go with number 2. Who's taken me under their wing?
So who has taken me under their wing and who is mentoring me?
Duke, I'm going to give you right of first refusal.
Is he a babyface or a heel?
He is baby. So it makes the most sense.
Yeah. I guess I have to.
Okay. So Ronnie the Duke answers that question.
Well, and then my second question was going to be, who's jealous of my rapid rise?
Yep, and that would fit with Senior Bago Crap.
I figured they were good questions because either one could take them, and it would make sense backstage.
Yep. So you get to gain +1 heat with each of them. And then each of them get to select a question from their sheet that you answer. So, Chaz, since you took one first, how about you pick a question for him to answer?
All right. Who is undercutting me?
All right. So your protege is also a little conniving. You get to write in Carter King and take +1 heat. And then our jobber, El Senor. Where does Carter King fit in on your sheet?
Let's go with who refuses to work with me.
All right.
I'm a terrible person.
So you're jealous of Senor, and you therefore refuse to work with El Senor, which is interesting.
Well, no, I'm jealous of his rise, is what it is.
Leading to me not
gotcha.
wanting to work with him.
He refuses to work with... Gotcha. That's wonderful. So, just a couple other little notes that I want to make before I disappear into creative land. I didn't make it very clear last week, but when the show was all said and done, we had, 5 segments, 6 segments? We had 3 promos and 3 matches, so 6 segments. Assume that there are always more matches that happened that just weren't notable enough for us to talk about. So going forward, any non-player character that's been mentioned and is somehow involved in a storyline, I will at least mention that they're having a match should you choose to interfere in that match. We may not go through the whole thing. But there's always other things happening on the show that, it's a little squash match or something that doesn't play anything into any of your storylines. Just assume those are still happening. So that it's not like, oh yeah, you just had me wrestle and now I have to go to the main and I had no breather. In that case, because it worked so well to the story that you told, Chad, we are going to play it that way, that we went from you winning to a promo to you being in another match. And then there was a big undercard that we didn't talk about.
Okay.
So, any other questions? Anything that you want me to address? Any requests for tonight's event?
Negative.
All right. Then I'm going to disappear. Might take me a little more than 5 minutes this time because I got to be a little creative. But I'll be back in a few.
Sounds good.
And darkness.
Quick, get your stuff out. Get them all out. Get your videos out.
I was gonna say, what's gonna load it up here?
How about this?
Look at my horse is amazing, give it a lick.
It tastes just like raisins.
Have a stroke of its mane, it turns into a plane, and then it turns back again when you tug on its winky.
Ooh, that's dirty.
Do you think so? Well, I better not show you where the lemonade is made. Sweet lemonade, sweet lemonade, sweet lemonade, yeah, sweet lemonade. Get on my horse, I'll take you around the universe and all the other places too.
You'll find that the universe pretty much covers everything.
Shut up, woman, get up my horse. Look at my horse is amazing, give it a lick.
It tastes just like raisins.
Have a stroke of its mane.
My horse? What?
And then it just
I named it in 2 beats. Okay, I gotta go away now. My computer crashed, and hopefully we're still broadcasting. It says we're still broadcasting.
That says we're still live.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, this time we get the logo instead of a black screen.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, fancy. I'm afraid to play anything now. Come back, mess with my shit.
I think I think he was gone before he started, so it's not like you kicked him off or anything.
Nice.
Ooh. So how's it going, Dan?
Yeah, it's going.
I'm glad you could join us this week so that me and Chaz don't have to fight each other again in the main, maybe.
Yeah. It'll probably be a better match.
We'll see.
I
Look at it this way. Last week I had a Shockmaster level promo to basically start the show off, so...
Well, and I deliberately set my person up to have the look but not the skill, solely because I don't know as much when it comes to building a match or anything like that, so it makes it more legitimate for me.
It's really not required in this. Nobody's really going to be judging us on stuff like that. I just come off like a dick that way because it's been ingrained in me since day one. You know, you don't fuck up in the ring.
Right.
And, you know, don't do stupid shit.
Right, and
Like
me,
armbands.
And it probably didn't help that I took Armani's school of ring psychology. But if there's anybody that knows more about me, it's definitely him. I'm a student of the game, but he knows such weird, obscure shit that I swear to God.
yeah.
Oh, what's did you still need to know my character name, Dan?
Yeah, I did not take. I kind of watched this or listened to last week's while I was at work, and so didn't take very good notes on things.
That's okay. My logo doesn't work for shit for some reason.
Don't even know how to get it on.
Ronnie the Duke Lewis. The Duke is in parentheses.
Not
Or-
Ron, not
Duke.
Ronald.
Nope, it's Ronnie. Even though he's in his mid-40s, still gotta call him Ronnie.
And Kevin, I pretty much got your character's name down since I think I helped come up with it at one point.
Yeah, I think that was a you and a Ben Johnson creation.
Yeah. Senor Bag of Crap, who...
Whatever happened to Ben Johnson?
That's a really good question. Is he back in Michigan?
I don't know. I know that he was buddies with Wizard of Todd or something like that, and then Todd started banging his mom, and
Yeah, Wizard of Todd eventually became his stepdad.
whoosh.
And actually, I think Ben married the two of them.
Yeah, he was the officiator. In fact, that's why I think he became the Reverend.
What a guy.
Oh, that's right. That was what it was for.
Yeah.
I know. I always remember because he always called me a crap booker, but he really didn't know how to book anything. I was like, he called me a crap booker on camera, and I'm like, I'm not really the booker. Jason
Told you the
booked everything. I just put my name on it because everybody goes, "This is stupid," and then they just go to chess.
Gotta blame somebody.
No. Yeah, but well, God, I can't remember how many conversations I've had with Jason saying, "No, this doesn't make sense. This is stupid," and Jason would just go, "Well, it's my show." I was like, "Okay."
I remember the time we were going to buy a play school bus and a bunch of action figures and do the death of Jason Jerry. Going to, it was, the E was doing something where apparently Vince McMahon had died. And so we were going to have action figures get on this bus, and then we were going to just set off a bunch of, really crappy fireworks.
Yeah.
And set up a whole mystery angle for the following week. I think we were going to load the bus with those ash snakes.
Dear. I still feel like you need to do this.
Right?
And we're back.
Yay!
Hooray!
You missed the conversation about burning buses and
Burning buses. Fred?
Well, it was going to be a play school bus in place of Fred, but, you know.
Okay. Something tells me your special effects magic was
It might have been asked to be called upon.
All right. So the first thing that we do need to address is backstage pre-show. The Duke is over and therefore gets to play the over move. And to do that, we go to the dice. And because I don't like switching back and forth on the screen share thing, I'm going to use my phone. So let's roll for Ronnie the Duke. We're rolling your look of
0.
0. We'll hit the roll button, and it's a 3. So your overness doesn't really help you too much. You do, however, start the show at +2 momentum. I get to book you with your lowest heat opponent or debuts you with somebody new. And I actually already was hoping that that happened, and it's already been done, so this is not a swerve for me. How wonderful is that?
Yay.
So the show opens. Remember, production budget is virtually unlimited. You can run in at any time. You can cut a promo at any time. You just have to tell me you want to interrupt. The cameras, microphones, what have you, will find a way to be available for you. So we're starting the show on a backstage promo with Carter King to introduce him to the new fans. He's a new wrestler that we haven't seen. So with our backstage interviewer, Carter, and I'm just going to get you so I have your backstory here. Carter King, you are booked this week to face Gryla, who suffered at the hands of the one and only Senior Bag of Crap last week. How do you feel you'll fare against this opponent?
I didn't catch that, sorry. You were breaking up at the beginning for me.
You are booked this week against Gryla, who suffered at the hands of Senior Bag of Crap last week. How do you think you'll fare against this opponent?
You know, this guy, he didn't impress me. He may be big, he may be tall, but look at me. I'm a prototype. I'm exactly what the fans are here to see.
All right. So we get your cut a promo, which is plus look of 2.
Boom.
And we roll a 4.
That app sucks.
Hey, random.org. It is true randomness. My geek flag is flying high with them. So your promo didn't go the greatest, but it's still
to start the show off. That's 2 weeks in a row that someone had a crap promo to start the show.
Yeah, apparently this creative guy needs to stop booking promos to open the show.
Yeah, that never works.
Hey, I went to the Triple H School of Booking.
No, I didn't fill 20 minutes.
What's worse is when indies do it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, I don't know. So you get to face Gryla in a match now. We do have the backstory happening here that Ronnie the Duke is kind of mentoring Carter. Ronnie, do you want to go to the ring with him? Do you want to be involved in this promo at all?
No, just because I'm his mentor doesn't mean I have to be out there with him. And besides, it's his debut. Why should the champ go out and show off with the belt at ringside when he should be the focus, especially in this debut? So no,
completely agree.
That needs to
Even the option there before we started the entrance. So Carter as the baby, he'll be going out second. Gryla comes down to the ring. Again, he's a very tall, very large, powerful-looking man. Think very similar to Kane, the 7-foot monster. He even has the corner ring post pyro on his way down. So very intimidating, very heavy-looking guy. He's coming down to the ring very stoic, not really paying much attention to the crowd, just looking to get to the ring and get his work done. And now it's your turn to make your entrance.
All right. Well, as we've touched base on, my character comes out to haul the Mountain King. And as he comes down, lots of bright pyro type deal, really illuminates him. He just kind of basks in it a bit, strolls to the ring, and kind of slaps a few hands on the way, but nothing out of the way. Just kind of jumps in, looks at the hard cam, gives a good smoldering look, and then kind of addresses business.
All right, so you're face-to-face in the ring, and Gryla, as the heel, will start with control, as is traditional with most wrestling matches. He's really going to start by playing the size advantage on you. So we go to a lockup, and he pushes you down, takes the vertical over you, gets you down to a knee, twists you into an arm bar, holds the arm bar for a few seconds, shoots you off into the ropes, gives you a clothesline, and then surrenders control to you.
All right. So I roll back up, get to my feet, and I try to throw some shots at him. And obviously, it was a bigger guy. He doesn't move too much there. So kind of try to push him around a bit, and no avail. So decide to hit the ropes and try to come off, and I'm gonna go for a shoulder block.
Attempting the shoulder block, we'll refer to that as a power move, which has you with a score at 0. I will hit the roll button.
I think that says
the
5.
button.
Yep.
It looks like 5.
There we go.
Yeah, that's an
That's a
11.
good roll. 6 and a 5. Where'd my sheet go? Here we go. In that case, you hit him, you gain 2 momentum, and you gain 1 heat. Since it was a good hit, your momentum is currently at 3. And your heat is at +1. You also retain control of the match if you like.
Knowing that I'm more inexperienced, I'm going to cede control back to him and kind of let him kind of run the show.
So Gryla is down from the shoulder tackle. He takes a minute getting up as you kind of back to the corner to allow for the clean stand-up, as you are a babyface. He has a frustrated look on his face that he really wasn't expecting that coming out of you, and that he wasn't expecting you to be able to take him down, being such a big guy. So he's cleanly up to his feet. 2 of you go for a test of strength, and he goes ahead and kicks you with a low blow. Gets a warning from the referee, backed off, and you're recovering from the low blow for a few minutes. He pushes the referee out of the way, charges at you with a clothesline, which you successfully duck, and hands over control to you.
All right. So obviously reeling a bit. My goal here is to kind of back him off from me a bit, get some time to recover, and I'm going to get kind of punchy with him, kind of throw some shots, try to get him back into the corner, get him out of an advantageous position, and hopefully get him back down, because obviously I've now realized keeping him up is not a great plan. So I'm going to kind of shoot in and try to take a leg out from underneath him, just throw a shoulder into the knee.
All right. And for that, because you are targeting a individual body part, I'll consider that a work roll rather than a power roll. Here's our old number. We hit the roll. If this doesn't work, we'll just go to dice. But yep, we got a 4 and a -1. So the fans don't really dig you taking him down from the leg. You hit him, but he ends up landing on top of you. You don't really get hurt, but it's very Botchmania worthy, where you didn't get your foot out of the way before he took the bump. And backstage, we can see the attitude of Ronnie the Duke.
Let's interject Jumbo, since Jumbo's been quiet so far.
Absolutely.
Jumbo's not only going to wind up drilling on Ronnie the Duke a little bit here, but he's going to drill on Ronnie the Duke's protege and say, for a veteran like Ronnie the Duke, his new protege out here looks a little green around the edges. This kid just tried to take down the monster, and the monster wound up landing right on top of him. This is kind of an embarrassing start to this match. Hopefully the kid can recover.
So we're good there. You do not lose heat at that point, but you are up to 4 momentum. Remember, anytime you have a bad roll, you can burn those momentum as a single point. So that can help you out in that situation. But anyways, the leg takedown goes down. He falls on top of you. but he's still selling the fall. He's not giving up the fact that you did get him off of his feet. So he's actually going to take this time to roll out of the ring and powder a little bit on that leg, try to sell the leg that it's really kind of hurting quite a bit from the fall, even though you both got it just as bad in the real world. As you get to your feet, he comes up to the apron. The referee's counting. He's up to a 4 count, 5 count. He rolls in under the bottom, rolls right back out. At this point, it's become evident that this match was written to give Gryla the heel turn. So he's playing mind games with you a little bit at the apron, where you let him in, he doesn't come in, back him off, ref, I need time to get in the ring. Once he does get in, comes and locks up to you and whispers, I really got to make these guys hate me. You got to help me out. Throws you into the ropes, gives you a very stiff clothesline, flipping you head over heels. And then he goes to the crowd and taunts from the corners, giving you an opportunity to stand up with his back turned.
I'm gonna put that over. I'm gonna put that over in commentary as well.
Okay.
Jumbo's on commentary and he says, "Oh my God, the monster just about took his head off with that clothesline. The kids are reeling, and now look at this. Look at this, completely unsportsmanlike on the part of Gryla. He's in the corner. He's letting the crowd know he doesn't care about this kid. He doesn't care about the fans. This is disgusting."
So I believe where we're standing now, he's in the corner taunting, gives you an opportunity to come in and cut him off, but I know you're a babyface. You probably don't want to. In that case, he'll turn. He'll come over for a lockup, and instead of a lockup, he's just going to try to grab your head and start going for punches. And he's going to hit you good and hard, give you 2, give you 3, and then he's going to go start taunting again, and you're really reeling at this point. You can take it from there.
All right. So after the second time with the taunt, I'm going to go over, kind of grab his arm, turn him around, and, kind of give him a chance to keep up the heel stuff here, because obviously trying to make him look good. And so he's going to, take a shot at me and everything, and I'm going to take it, and this time I'm going to come back and throw some shots at him and exchange blows here. Give him a chance to kind of go into it. And
so what I'll do then is I will have you roll the babyface move for allowing him to work as a heel and putting him over as a heel. So that does require spending 2 momentum, but it'll be a very beneficial roll for you.
all right.
Actually, you don't even have to roll. So you can just instantly take 1 heat. You can force me to book you in a match later on today's card, or you can add a stipulation to a match that you'll have in the future.
All right. All right. So from there, obviously, I now know that I'm taking the beat down here a bit and gotta turn this around. So I'm gonna block one of these punches here and kind of hit him with go for some shots back, kind of send him away from me, and again try to get him back down. I'm gonna hit. Just trying to think here what I can do. I'm gonna go for the clothesline.
Okay, going for the clothesline, and that would be a power move with a bonus of 0. That's a good hit. So you hit really good. You get 2 more momentum and a heat. Your heat for the match is at a 3. Now, the ultimate goal within the mechanics is to get your heat up to a 4. So
Okay.
we're going to take a little bit more time on this match. But what's going to end up happening here, he hit the clothesline on Gryla, and he feels it. He rolls out of the ring. He's grabbing at his neck. He's shaking his head. He doesn't know what's going on. So he reaches down under the ring, pulls out a chair, and rolls in. He's ready to take a swing at you, but you duck it, give him a kick to the midsection. The referee's trying to get the chair out of the ring. In the meantime, he throws you into the corner. He throws you into the corner so hard you come back out, take a clothesline. He runs back to the ref, grabs the chair, hits you in the face for the DQ, and you win the match.
Okay.
Any other fallout on that?
Did we settle up what the outcome was from his 3 choices before?
I gave him the heat, unless you wanted something else, Dan.
Yeah, the heat's good.
Okay. So you'll end the match at 3 heat, which isn't going to gain you an audience point, but at least gives you a good starting point if you meet him again in the future, which is very possible. So end of the match, you go backstage, and Gary Grayson is back there. He likes to give a little critique, especially for guys in their first time, and just, hey man, you did a decent job out there. Thanks for putting him over. You did some good work, and it looks like your time with the Duke is really starting to pay off.
Thanks. I know it's just got to get better.
All right. We can wrap up that segment of that. You're not necessarily done. If an opportunity presents itself that you want to run it or whatever, that's fine. I'll also have to take the jumbo index of the commentary. That one's fine. All right, our next segment is a backstage. Oh, no. Gary Grayson. Gary Grayson comes down to the ring, addresses the fans. Thank you all for being here this evening. It's great to have such wonderful supporting fans at GPW. You know, last week we had an unbelievable match, and we can only promise to continue giving such wonderful entertainment value for your hard-earned dollar. First, I would like to introduce someone very important to GPW. Please welcome down to the ring the Mysterious Merc. Mysterious Merc comes down. Sorry, give me 1 second for my research. Mysterious Merc comes down to the cheers of the fans. He enters the ring, has no idea why Grayson is calling him down. Grayson says,
Frankly, I think some of us in the back have no idea why Grayson's calling him out either.
Probably. Now, Merc, you were involved in the tournament last week, and things didn't go well for you. But in all fairness, you were booked against the man who ended up being the champion. And I want to give you another chance at the championship. So later tonight, you will face another competitor from the tournament who did not make a fool of himself by performing illegal maneuvers and trying to interfere in someone else's match. Yes, Merc, you will face El Senor Bag o' Crap, and the winner of this match will have a chance at the championship next week.
Little number 1 contenders action.
Number 1 contenders match. Merc is appreciative, goes to the back without even taking the mic, because I don't know if he has the chops for it. Grayson's on the way out of the ring. We cut to a backstage segment with El Senor, an interviewer, ready to ask the tough questions.
So let's hear those tough questions.
Yeah, the tough questions. Senor Bag o' Crap, last week you actually did cheat a little bit in your match. You did not get caught. How do you feel about this opportunity against Mysterious Merc and your opportunity to potentially face Ronnie the Duke again?
#1 contendership. How do I feel? I feel great. You know why? Because unlike the Mysterious Merc, I actually made it to the championship match last week. Now, granted, the Duke wound up taking me to the limit, and I took the Duke to the limit. He walked out of there with the belt, but that doesn't mean that he's out of my targets at this point. I'm coming for the Duke. I'm going to take out anyone in my path, and that starts tonight with the Mysterious Merc.
Sorry, just making a note. You get a promo roll. We're going from the old roll of 9 to a new roll of 8. And we get to add your look stat, which I think you actually have something. -1.
Yep.
So you roll a 7 on cut a promo. The fans are paying attention. You can choose to be booked in a match of your choice. You can choose to add a stipulation to this match you just cut the promo on. You can gain a momentum, or you can gain a heat. You currently have 2 momentum and 1 heat with this, or sorry, 2 heat with this opponent.
I have 2 heat with Merc.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a heat.
All right. So you'll be entering this match at a +3. And we're good to go. I screwed up my sheets here. I'm sorry. I just gotta make a quick change. I just had a couple of things out of order in a way that they would not make sense at all. Perfect. So since you're busy backstage cutting the promo, and well, actually, we'll have a commercial break and some matches in between. When we come back from commercial, Merc is down to the ring, ready for action. He is getting the fans behind him today because he really is a clean wrestler that just lost in a good match against a good guy. So he's out there, and he's got the goodwill of the people on his side, and he's just waiting for the entrance of El Senor.
As we've gone over before, we start hearing the beeps of the garbage truck as it starts backing its way down to the ring. The Mexican horns start playing, and as the truck hits ringside, the back cargo hold opens up, and out rolls El Senor with about 8 bags of trash. Rolls underneath the bottom rope, heads up to the far corner of the ring. Gets up there, is basking in the booze this week of the crowd, who's obviously on the side of Merc. Does the double hand wave off, I don't need you people, and heads down to the center of the ring awaiting the start of the match.
All right. As wrestling tradition allows, the two of you haven't worked anything out already, so Merc's going to go ahead and get you into a nice clean lockup and let you take control.
From the clean lockup, I'm going to immediately use my heelishness to give him a stomp on the foot and a quick uppercut to the jaw, hopefully knocking Merc to the canvas.
We'll roll that as a wrestling move. See what we can get here. We had an 8, and now we have a 3. Wrestling move failed. Unless, Dan, I'll have you play the announcer here. and once during your role as announcer, you can put a move over, bumping it to the next level. So he doesn't have enough momentum to get that from a botch to a 7, but you can choose.
I've got it up to. What do I have for momentum right now?
You have 2.
I have 2. Actually, I do have enough because my work was at +2.
Oh, that's right. You're at +2 work. So you can spend it if you want.
I'll spend it.
Okay. So spend the momentum. That'll get you up to a 7. You can keep control, or you can give over the control and gain momentum.
I'll give over control and gain the momentum.
Okay. So you're back up at 1.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, that was a European uppercut, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he reels it selling back, hooks his arm over the top rope, and lets you come in for a nice heelish clothesline that throws him over the top. Both of you guys go over the top and to the outside. On the outside, you start pounding on him a little bit, and he just does a nice push off and then gets back into the ring. So he's now in the ring, you're on the outside, and you have control.
All right. I'm going to take my time, kind of sizing up the opponent from ringside. Roll in at about a 7. And I'll head back to the center of the ring and try to get him to come in for another lockup.
Comes in for the lockup, gives you a suplex, which, just for my own record, I'm going to take a roll for. Doesn't really affect the match. He gives you a suplex and executes well, but you're able to both get up and ready to fight again. So he'll take you from the suplex, throw you to the ropes, give you the clothesline, and then he's going to take a second to bask with the fans while you're down.
All right, I'm gonna wind up reeling back into the corner, kind of playing it off like what the hell just happened here. Let him get his shine in, and just as he's starting to turn around, I'm gonna come charging out of the corner and level him with a clothesline.
Okay, we'll roll wrestling power. So that's a -1, and the dice come in at 11. So you still hit a 10. You can choose 2 momentum or 1 heat.
Let's get the heat.
There you are. So that should put you up to 4 heat now.
Correct.
Wonderful. So really, we're at the point where you would want to avoid pushing the match much further and avoid doing too many different things, because it's really got you on top right now. However, you did sacrifice the momentum. So what's going to happen is, as Jobber to the Stars, you're booked to win.
Mm-hmm.
So we do need to have a finishing move roll, which you don't have, and this is a non-player character. So I'm simply going to roll for a 5 or better.
Okay.
Which you get. And if you want to write the end of the match, you win cleanly with no issues.
Sure thing. So I've got him back in that corner from the clothesline. I'm going to give him the old do-si-do, whip him into the other corner as he's coming out. I'll give him a... let's give him a fisherman's suplex. I'll hook the leg and go for the pin for the cover. 1, 2, 3,
that's the match. your winner and new #1 contender for the Global Pro Wrestling World Championship, El Señor Bago Crap.
Olay.
So we'll head to the back. Grayson actually doesn't have time to talk to you guys about the match that you just put on. He is busy talking to the one and only Duke, the Duke, Ronnie the Duke. And he's having a conversation, which, Duke, I'm sure you can fill me in, but I'm assuming it's a bit of a difficult conversation trying to persuade you because he has booked you to cut a promo to set up a match against Gryla, who had a DQ loss against your protege Carter. So
Okay.
the next segment is a interviewer-less promo from our veteran Ronnie the Duke to set up his match against Gryla.
Point of order before I start the promo. On the tournament last week, Gryla jobbed out in the first round, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost to me in the first round.
Right, he lost to you after getting his eye gouged. The referee not
finish. Okay. So you want to interviewless promo.
And you have time to think. I mean, this is.
Fuck it, I'll just roll with it. I always do my best shit on my feet anyway, so. The camera just hears me, sees me leaving Grayson's dressing room office, a little bit miffed, a little bit upset. He sees the camera. Looks at the camera. Points. Come here. Duke wants to talk to you. We live? Good. I guess I got something to say. I just got through dealing with the most asinine request the Duke has ever had. Next week, it's me and you, Gryla. You may have taken out my boy, Carter King, with that chair. You may have beaten him a little bit up, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm not Carter King. I'm the Duke. And I'm going to come at you, and I'll gouge out your other eye if I have to. The Duke has been around through presidents, heads of state. Hell, he's even dined with a homeless man on 42nd Street. I've seen him big. Brother, you're big. You're not that big. Every man has his weakness. I've seen yours. Senor. You're going to be no different. Doesn't matter if you're 7 feet tall, 70 feet tall, or if you're Godzilla. The Duke will prevail. Hail the Duke. And I just kind of want.
Right at the end of the promo, the door opens. Grayson pokes his head out and says, "Did you say next week? I'm sorry, I might have been unclear. I meant tonight."
Good! Now get back in your office, you pencil-neck geek! And I kick the fucking door shut right back on him. I'll go right now!
All right, so you're cut a promo. We roll plus look, which you have 0. My previous roll was a 10. And we roll again. And we get, I think that's a 9? 6. So the promo didn't go the greatest. You do have 2 momentum if you want to spend 1 up.
Yeah, I'll send it to to just get it out of the bad territory and just say it worked.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'll spend 1 just to put it up to a 7 and say it worked.
Okay, so you can force me to book you in a match later tonight. You can add a stipulation to a match. You can get your momentum back, or you can take a heat with your subject.
The heat with Gryla?
Yeah,
Which I have 0 heat with?
correct.
Ah, Christ. You know, actually, since you said I had to go tonight, you didn't say that, do that. So we're going to add some stipulations here. Of course, it's going to be a non-title match. And no disqualification as well.
Okay, notice because it was a non-title to begin with.
Okay, so it's no disqualification then.
Yep, no disqualification.
It makes sense because, you know, he had a DQ against Carter earlier tonight. Makes sense.
So, in a no DQ match, anytime that you draw blood, use a weapon, or get ultra-violent, we will be rolling a real stat. 10 plus, you gain an audience just on that move. You get control, and you get to pick one of the following. From 7 and 9, you gain control, and then the 3 are someone gets injured, you gain 2 momentum, or you gain +1 heat. Now, the stakes are high, right? You can get an audience just by a simple roll of the dice. You don't even have to get heat to gain your audience in this match. However, on a botch, you give a momentum to your opponent, and you either lose 1 audience or you take an injury point. So hardcore is not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but it is an extreme thing, as one would expect. So no DQ match. Gryla. Again, Gary Grayson learned his lesson, and he will send Gryla out first. He just turned tonight. He's coming down, and the audience is not happy with him.
Well, actually, he's not going to even make to the ring because I am jumping him in the middle of his entrance. Because I just ran off all half-cocked and tilted. So he's not even going to make it to the ring before this thing starts. So I'm running up from behind him, and I'm waffling him with a chair. Right off the bat.
We'll start it off early. Now, this is some purveyors of the game may want me to make you roll break kayfabe, but I completely disagree in this case. It makes perfect sense for you to cut him off, even as a babyface. I will call the hardcore roll, however, which could go either way really fast. We had a 6 last time. Camera doesn't adjust very quick. And we now have a 5, which would be a botch. You still have 2 momentum to bring it up to a 7, or our announcer, Kevin, can put it over.
I'll have the announcer put it over.
Kevin, you agree?
Yeah, I can put it over.
Okay. So,
by the way, after they roll into the ring, Senior Bago Crap has now made his way to ringside and is joining Jumbo on commentary.
Wonderful. So you can choose, Chad, either someone gets injured, you take 2 momentum, or you take 1 heat.
Take the heat.
Take the heat.
Finally got a heat on Gryla.
There you are. So just to recap, because I tend to get a little lost in mechanics there, Gryla was making his ring entrance. About 3/4 way down the ramp, you run in, take a chair to his back. He takes it. It's not the strongest, but he definitely shows that he got hit, and he's down on the outside of the ring. The referee has not yet called for the bell because no one actually got in the ring. Once you do get in, the bell rings, and El Senor comes down to ringside to join the commentary team. So now you're both in the ring. Gryla more hurt than you, and you're both getting to your feet. I'll let you take control.
Okay. Punches. You know, having a lockup now would be absolutely useless since we started off with a chair shot. So there's not going to be any, technical wrestling in this thing. This is going to be a fight. So I'm just going to start off. Since he's getting up, I'm not going to let him up. I'm going to start pounding his face in. So just a bunch of lefts to the face and targeting that eye that El Senor hit last week for his cheap pin.
All right, we'll take a wrestling roll. Our old roll of 5 is still on the device. We'll roll again. And we roll another 5.
Oh, for...
Now,
spend the 2 momentum. Bring that up to a 7.
okay, commentary can't put you over anymore because it's only once per match. And that was a wrestling move. So at a 7, you hit it pretty well. You can maintain control, or you can hand over control and gain 1 momentum back.
I will hand over control to gain the momentum.
Okay, so you're at 1 on momentum.
Yeah, I'm going to need it.
You're laying in punches. He's been taking them, but now he's got to get some energy back. So he's going to kick you off of him over the back. So you'll kind of do a back flop on the other side of him. He'll get to his feet and start kicking in at your shoulder, at your upper arm. Working the left as he should. But then he'll pick you up off the mat, throw you into the ropes. You come back at him. He's going to bring a knee up. Being 7 foot, he can easily get the knee up to hit you, again, in that upper left shoulder. So he's definitely trying to work the arm in this match. And you can take control.
Okay. He's going to try to shoot me to the ropes, come at me with the big boot, I duck underneath, come back, bam, start hitting him again, right in the face, right in the eyes, picking that body part apart.
Just more of the same. Just keep working the head.
Keep working the head, keep working the eye.
Although it's punches, which would normally be a power move, you are working it methodically, so I will roll it as a work move of +1. And the dice say 5.
That thing is busted. I've had 5 3 times in a row.
Start rolling real dice.
Okay, real dice it is. Real dice it is.
He rolls a 5 right here.
These are legit. Okay, here we go. It's on the floor. You got a 9. +1.
No take backs.
Okay.
5, 5, 5.
Hey, if you guys don't like technology, it's not my fault. So the fans are really buying these punches. You're hitting them really well, and you can either gain 2 momentum or gain 1 heat.
Take the heat, bring it up to 2.
Takes you up to 2.
Dan, you want to play Jumbo on commentary so I can be Bago crap?
Sure. You're still saying that you're Jumbo Index, though.
Yeah, I can fix that.
Okay, so this has been, in Gryla's backstage opinion, a bit boring. Although the fans are into it, he's getting a little frustrated and can't figure out why they're into it. All they've seen is a bunch of punching to the face. So he decided he's going to kick it up a notch. Again, he'll get out from under you, throw you to the ropes, give you a clothesline to get you down, work that shoulder a little bit more with some more kicks, trying to really show what you're doing. Then he's going to pick you up and try to wring your arm up off the top rope and do a jump. I'm going to do a quick non-important roll. So he gets off the top rope, but it really doesn't go over so well, and the fans really aren't into that slightly more technical style of, ringing the arm off the top.
No shit. This is a no DQ match. So it doesn't work out there. He's do I have control again or?
Yeah.
All right. I see him getting back up on the apron, coming up. Shoot myself off the other ropes. Come back right at him. Knock him right off with a nice big elbow to the head. Knock him to the floor.
He goes down. He's on the outside selling it, but as soon as he can regain himself, he starts going under the apron, and he's going to obviously be looking for something. Now, you didn't hit him hard enough to knock him out. You also didn't hit him soft enough to make him, come back instantly. So you've got time to interrupt here before he actually shows up with a weapon. And I'll give you control.
Now he's underneath the ropes, or underneath the ring, and I'm standing right up there like, what the fuck? I get down. I'm going to take off my wrist tape and wait for him from behind. He's going to come out with a weapon or of the choice. I'm just going to flip him around, take that tape that I've had, wind it up in my fist, and I'm just going to hit him in the head again.
So you're telling me that Ronnie the Duke is so old school that wrist tape is a foreign object?
Yes.
Well,
I didn't get a good look at the picture on that character sheet, but I could have sworn it was Cro-Magnon Man was what was drawn on there.
No.
It's not. I wasn't far off, I don't think.
All right, so
well, and Jumbo jumps in and he's just ridiculing the Duke for using the most ridiculous weapon of that he could possibly be using right now.
And Senior Bag of Crap's having a hard time arguing that point. You're in there against a monster, and you load your fist up with tape. You know how much crap there is underneath that ring? He used tape.
You know how sweaty my hands are, and the wrist tape? Thanks. I'm throwing it right in his eye and his face. And
You'd have been better just wringing it out and wringing it out on Gryla.
Hey.
So I am not going to allow that to be a hardcore violence role. It's not hardcore enough given today's world. I don't think the fans would buy it that way. But I will rule it as a wrestling move.
He's stuck in his ways. And
A wrestling move plus power, which is a -1. I roll a 5. So you get a 4, and the fans also do not like the wrist tape move. So not only do you try to hit him, but you get countered. He blocks it. He takes some momentum from you, so you're down to 0. They have control. Now, they just blocked a wrist tape loaded punch as they were getting a chair from under the ring. Of course, they can't carry the chair and block the punch at the same time. So they did drop that, but it's at least exposed. He'll go ahead, take a shot to your chin. You'll reel back a little bit, and then he'll do a short arm clothesline out on the exposed floor. We are in the padded area, though, so it's not concrete, but you are outside of the ring taking the short arm clothesline.
Oh, the Duke's gonna break a hip.
He wasn't even around last week for Jumbo's comments, and he's playing Jumbo exactly like I did.
Hey, like I said, sometimes stories write themselves, especially on wrestling.
I watched last week's, and there's got to be consistency here.
I like it.
So the Duke is down right now from the clothesline, and as a good sport, unless interrupted, as a good sport, he's selling it because he just took an out-of-the-ring shot. That gives enough time to at least get the chair and attempt to swing it at the Duke. We will roll a 5 or better connect, so 5 or lower gets countered. We got a 9. So he connects with the chair shot on the outside of the ring. You sell it down again. still has the momentum, so he'll pick you up, roll you back into the ring, try to go in for a cover. 1, 2, kick out. You have control.
Okay, I'm going to start firing up here, and basically he's going to try to do a big leg drop, and I'll move out of the way to get back into control. When he's down, I'm going to run up off the ropes. When he's getting up, I'm going to hit him with a nice little running sit-out clothesline as he's getting up. And, yeah, hit him with a sit-out, Bret Hart clothesline, sit-out.
Okay, sit-down clothesline sounds good to me. Rolling for power, we'll get a 9 minus 1 brings you to an 8. You can keep control or take 1 momentum point.
I'll keep control, and I'm going to go up to the top rope, double axe handle off the top rope.
Double axe handle off the top. Now that's relatively high risk, so we're going to go for a look roll of 0. We got 9, so you hit right on. Again, you can keep control or take 1 momentum.
I'll take the momentum.
All right, so you've just come off the top rope. You've hit him good. I think it's time to reveal that the Duke is going to win this match after coming off the top rope. So if you're comfortable and don't want to add anything else to the match, you may roll your finishing move.
Okay. Time to hit him with the crown, or my linchpin maneuver.
We rolled an 8. So you hit it, but your opponent isn't exactly giving it up. They make you work for it a little bit, almost fighting the maneuver. It still happens, but it wasn't as easy as it could have been.
It shouldn't be. 7 foot tall. I shouldn't be tossing him around like a rag doll.
So on that case, you're going to gain a heat. That should put you up to 3.
Yep, I have +3 on him.
1, 2, 3 on the match. And that's the end. What's happening over at the commentary table?
After the Duke wins his match and they hand him his title belt, Senior is going to slip in behind him, grab him by the shoulder, flip him around, DDT, grab the title, look at it, roll out of the ring.
All right, let's roll for that DDT quick. It's a wrestling move. However, it is run-in. So we're going to roll plus heat in this case. Your heat with Ronnie the Duke is at +4. The dice say 7, so you've rolled an 11. It's really hot. You both take a heat, and you also get to choose one of the following. First one isn't relevant because it involves a DQ. The creative can book you in a match later tonight, or your interference doesn't change anything, but the opponent comes after you for interfering in their business.
Those are really stupid options, really, for what this was.
Yeah, perhaps we shouldn't roll run-in. Should I just roll the move itself?
Yeah, let's just do it as the move itself.
Because technically it was after match, so
Right, it's post-match.
Okay, so rolling it as a wrestling move then, you can take 2 momentum or you can take another heat, but you're already at +4.
Right.
So you'll take the 2 momentum, which puts you at 3. Doesn't really help much because that goes away at the end of the show, which is right now. That was our main event.
All right.
So, just to get my notes straight, Duke cleanly over Gryla in a no DQ. Aftermath by Senior. Carter over Gryla via DQ. And El Senior over Merc. Was that clean, Kevin?
Yeah. That was the fisherman suplex.
Yep, that's right. So really showing that Senior does have some wrestling skill when he really wants to take it out. I mean, a fisherman suplex carried over into a pin isn't exactly an easy move that anyone can do on their first day in the art. Unless you're one of those Oshkosh boys. Those guys.
I'm one of those Oshkosh guys. I taught those Oshkosh boys.
Day one camp, man. Take it to the limit. Okay, so show wrap up. We got the recap. I guess backstage, not a whole lot of words from Grayson other than just thanking the Duke for doing his job the way that he was asked and being a professional and not giving me any shit tonight. It was a good night, and I was glad to have you on the roster.
Fuck you, Grayson.
Just gotta hate everything. I'm just gonna try to be as nice as I possibly can to the Duke, just to see when he breaks being an asshole.
It's
My
not.
guess is never. Also, for those of you keeping track at home, which is something that I think that we should always do when we're writing wrestling shows, but nobody else seems to give a shit, Gryla has now lost 3 straight. So he's really not hot in the eyes of the fans. He's losing to our designated jobber character.
Jobber to the stars.
To be fair, he did choose to lose to me.
That is
That's
true.
true. That was under his own volition.
Well, maybe he was just banging an underage rat backstage, and this is his punishment, you know.
Well, we didn't state that for the sake of the show, but that's very possible.
Maybe he works like a wet sack of crap, so you know. That's all he's good for, is to look intimidating, and then he just jobs.
So, quick examination of the characters. The Duke, we got Senior at +3, Merc at +3, Carter King at +1, Gryla at +3. Sound right to you?
And I want to add Jumbo Index at +1 because I heard that he called me shit.
Yeah, I'll justify that. Jumbo Index, however, I love that name, by the way. That is the best name. Jumbo Index, as the name implies, is a larger guy that I wouldn't anticipate seeing him doing anytime soon. He's viscera soft and not trained to be a wrestler. But you can have heat with him. I will allow it.
I believe that the
I
Duke.
got the Golden Boy, Carter King. I have you at +1 with Ronnie the Duke. Now, you did not really have a interaction with the Duke today, did you?
No.
So that is going to cool off. And also, Duke, that Carter King is going to cool off with you down to a 0.
Yep.
You also did not interact with, or no, you did. You worked Merc, didn't you?
I didn't.
You did not. So Merc's going to drop down to a 2. So we got 3 for I'm reading on the vets sheet here. El Senor +3, Merc +2, Carter King +0, Gryla +3, and Jumbo Index +1. Carter King, we have Ronnie the Duke +1, Senor +1, Gryla +3. And our jobber character here, we have Ronnie the Duke +4. Now, you weren't technically in a match with Ronnie the Duke, so we can't give you an advance or an audience based on that.
Okay.
Gryla, you're at 0. Carter King, you're at +1. You guys at least talked, didn't you? You mentioned each other, I thought.
Yeah.
And then Mysterious Merc at +4, who you did have a match with. So you go up a notch on the audience chart. You'll be an audience of 2 next time we play.
Okay.
And I believe that wraps up the mechanics of it. Did anybody have any questions?
Was there?
comments?
I was just gonna ask: is there an advance that goes with Mysterious Mark being at +4 on?
So the heat results in audience gains or losses.
Okay.
Advances are a little bit harder to earn.
Gotcha.
And I will reconfirm for my own sake. You gain an advance the first time you hit +4 in an episode. So yes, you will get an advance on that, or when you get a championship belt or end a feud. So we'll give you the advance right away. You're also guaranteed, I'm going to put this on my on-deck sheet for next week.
Nick, no, that wouldn't be an advance. Because it's not +4 for heat, it would be +4 for audience, which I'm only at an audience of +2.
Oh, yep. You're right. Jeez. I read it and I don't even interpret it right.
Look at that, the heel did something by the book.
Weird.
I know, right? It's like Bizarro World.
Okay, so on deck next week, El Senor is guaranteed a title match, which, you know, he's a jobber, so figure it out. Where do we have this?
Depends on how many 5s are rolled, I suppose.
That's true. The fives really do have an outcome. Primarily on how much the crowd craps on the match.
And I guess the other side of it is, even if you're booked to lose in this title match, the Duke still could, you know, really mess with our heads and decide to give you the match with the champion's advantage. You know, if he really wants to be a jerk throwing things off, which could happen.
Oh, no, I'm just a heel backstage. I'm still a white meat baby face.
Yeah. Right. So that's good. EP3. Then if there's nothing else game related to recap or any questions, comments that we want everybody to see, I'll go ahead and terminate the broadcast. We can hang out for a few minutes.
Sounds good.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. We'll see you hopefully next week.